faces, but have the same name.
Welcome back everyone to another amazing episode brought to you by GamesGlitches. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at all the specializations and everything that we have learned from playing the Division 2 beta. If you enjoyed this episode, would really appreciate it if you hit that like button. Really helps out the channel grow. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, the first class that we're going to take a look is the Sharpshooter, which they allowed us to play in the beta. The Sharpshooter started with 331 gear score and came with its special ability signature weapon, the TAC 50C rifle, which is a quite ridiculous sniper rifle. As you can see here on the right hand side where you could see the stats for the rifle. The rifle is actually extremely powerful, but there's of course different setbacks with that also. On top of that, the sniper class, the Sharpshooter class, comes with their own specialized grenade, a flashbang grenade that makes the targets blind, which temporarily takes them out of cover, which works amazingly because the NPCs love to hide and cover in this one a lot more than they did in Division 1. During the beta, they only allowed us to play with one sniper rifle out of the 6 spots that are available on each of the specializations for 6 different weapons to have. There were several issues that I've noticed, and I'm going to mention them in the end because these issues consist across all 3 different classes. Sharpshooter's mastery lies in good long-range combat by taking out snipers, by getting mobs out of cover because the mobs in this game stay in cover a lot more often than they did in Division 1. They also specialize in disorienting large groups of units by confusing them so they don't actually shoot at you or do anything, and you could just simply pick them off one by one. And well, without being mentioned, of course, handling other snipers on the enemy team. Sniper versus a sniper situation if you can't get the close range combat. Now, let's take a look at the Survivalist class. The Survivalist class is kind of the one that I was looking forward to because in a way it kind of reminds me of Rambo from 1980s movies, a character that uses pretty much a crossbow with explosive bolts. In this game, it's pretty much the same way. You get a crossbow and explosive bolts that stick to the target and detonate on them and detonating anyone around them. Unfortunately, they only gave us one crossbow to play around with and did not give us any additional weapons out of the 6 or the traps, though they did give us a nice little fragmentation grenade that causes bleed damage on their target, which could indicate that their trap based will be more on a bleed or damage over time or stun or something along those lines. Unfortunately, we don't really have much to go from, only what we have seen so far in the demo and what they have released in the news. Also, it seems that all the weapons, including the specialization weapons, seem to be moddable, allowing you to attach different mods, though they do have different number of mods that can be attached to each specialized weapon. We'll see how that plays out in the release, if it's going to change the way the things are balanced. Now, a demolitionist starts with M32A1 multi-shot grenade launcher that comes with 6 rounds and does enormous amount of damage across 5 meters of blast radius, which can be actually shot really rapidly. Within about a second and a half or less, you can dispose of all 6 shots within your grenade launcher, causing enormous amount of area effect damage. Which brings us to another point. They're good at destroying armor and heavy armor on robots and heavy armored units really rapidly due to the explosion damage. And on top of that, they're amazing at destroying small groups of regular HP mobs because they simply of explosion radius can wipe them all out within a single shot, maybe 2, which is in another amazing way. There in a way could be used as a crowd control or as to destroy heavy armor on units. Demolitionists also come with incendiary grenade that ignites 5-meter field and burns all the enemies. This is actually another amazing way to taking on the armored units or getting mobs out of cover. Now, the 2 major problems that I've noticed that consistently consists across all three classes is the lack of ammo. Each class starts with either 4 to 6 rounds of their special ammo. That is fine. But the problem is that the mobs have special conditions to drop that ammo, either dying to an explosion or a headshot. And that creates a problem because when you're in a group of 4 people, not everybody gets their headshots in and not everybody gets their explosions in. Therefore you're constantly lacking on your specialized ammo. Therefore, and you can't never get to really play around with your specialization. It kind of creates a whole problem then for you where your specialization no longer kind of matters. On top of that, I noticed that there are a lot of weapons that can actually match your specialization weapon, making your specialization completely useless altogether, where you could use other weapons for which you could find ammo much quicker constantly, and have a full clip and not worry about it, and you could basically do exactly the same damage as you would do it with a specialization weapon, which creates another problem. Then what the hell is the point of specializations? Hopefully once they introduce small weapons to us in the field of 6 weapons across each specialization, we will see maybe weapons that are more better to use, or maybe they'll increase the ammo drop where you're constantly getting ammo. For the limited ammo is not a problem, it's the fact that you're constantly out of it, and that the fact that other weapons that have hundreds of ammo, you could constantly pick that up and keep going, making your specialization useless. Hopefully they'll change that up in the release. They'll definitely increase, hopefully they'll definitely increase the drop rate on the special ammo. If they don't, there's going to be a lot of problems where the specializations are not going to be that important as they made them out to be. Well guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video on specialization review and problems, hit that like button, really helps out the channel grow. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe because I'm going to be covering a Division and Anthem quite a lot. Thank you all again for watching and have a wonderful day.